Do you remember what it was like to be a baby? Well, neither do I. Hi, welcome to an episode of Unlocking Mind Behind Make More Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I have the show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, make better decisions, build strong relationships, and of course, avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, let me ask you that question again. Do you remember what it was like to be a baby? Do you remember your first birthday? How about your second birthday? Probably not. Me neither. But we asked a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old or even a 5-year-old, they might go, yeah, I remember my first birthday or I remember my second birthday. And they'll come up with these kind of vague details. And we sit there going, wow, how do you remember all that? Well, that is childhood amnesia. That is the inability of adults to retrieve episodic memories before the age of 2 to 4. And that's because as our brain develops, we tend to lose certain memories. And especially our childhood memories, which is between the ages 2 to 4 or before the age of 4. And because that's just how our minds work, we tend to lose all that stuff. However, you might ask, well, wait a minute, we don't lose all that stuff, because during that period of time is where our brains are developing the ability to recognize speech patterns or language or motor skills. So how can we remember certain things and not other things? Well, that is just how our brains work. It has to do with how many neurons are being shot out there, and because of that, we are able to retain certain motor skills and some language skills, but the episodic stuff we tend to forget. And it happens to everybody. Nobody here really remembers exactly what happened on the first birthday or second birthday, but we remember stuff that we do remember, we remember more in detail, more clearly. There was an experiment being done with a bunch of kids, an older group and a younger group. And that younger group was able to retain or remember 70% of the stuff that was even younger than them back in their 1 or 2 year old stage. But when we're asking the older group about the 1 to 2 year old stage, they only remember 35%. However, the stuff that they do remember were a lot more concrete, a lot more detailed, and a lot more clear than what the 70% of the information that the younger group remembered. Because the stuff we do remember, we tend to give it more meaning, we tend to give it more story, we tend to see it more clearly. But that is just childhood amnesia. There's nothing we can really do about it, because that's just how our minds work. And as our brains keep on developing, we will remember certain things, but we will remember them more clearly and more detailed, versus the childhood stuff, which is a lot more vague and a lot more generalized. But it happens to all of us. So when people ask you, do you remember stuff back in your childhood? Sometimes you may not remember. And don't be surprised if those younger kids remember their 1 year old or 2 year old self, because that they haven't lost that yet. But as our brains grow older, we do lose that, and there's nothing we can really do about it. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode on Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More Work Less. If you did, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking Mind. And if you like Unlocking Mind, we have a lot of other shows: the Peak Potential Success Show, the Make More Mind Bites, and of course, the Master Mind Bites that's up every single week. So until next time, thank you very much for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, and your follows. I love seeing those comments. And until next time, today is the day to lock your peak potential. I'll see you later.